It's another Saturday when we bring you your favorite security and safety tonic on television, the Security Watch Africa, only on this channel, the Africa Independent Television. Welcome to your program today. My name still remains Patrick Abambu. Today, we have already in the guest, a guest. I wouldn't call him a guest because he is part of Security Watch Africa, and even though from behind, and he's a man that knows when we talk about security. He's a man that I can 100% vouch for his knowledge and expertise. He's already here seated. I'm talking about retired but not tired Brigadier General Sani Kukashika Usman. It's a pleasure to have you.
Good afternoon, Patrick. Good to see you.
Yeah, he was the Director of Army Public Relations, in charge of how the Army was faring, even though he's still indirectly involved with the activities of the armed forces. Of course, he's here with us to discuss a very important program that will be holding beginning from Monday. But before then, let us take you to a report, a special report put together by Elizabeth Tanko from Maiduguri, Borno State. Sit back as we bring you this report.
When a soldier is motivated, a nation is protected. That's the driving force behind the Nigerian Army today, under the leadership of the present Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede. At the heart of this transformation is a pillar of his command philosophy, the Soldier First mantra. The Chief of Army Staff leadership concept put the welfare, morale, and readiness of soldiers above everything else, and it has been backed by action with the Ration Cash Allowance, RCA, and the COAS Intervention Funds, which are targeted at frontline operations, welfare facilities, medical upgrades, and community support projects. To truly assess its implementation, Security Watch Africa's team traveled to Operation Hadinkai, the center of Nigeria's counter-insurgency operations in the northeast, in Maiduguri, Borno State. The assessment tour began with a visit to frontline locations, where our team was given free access to interact with soldiers and their commanding officers. At the Forward Operating Base FOB in Molai, we met the team deployed for operations and spoke with some soldiers and a police officer who is part of the Joint Task Force.
It's my 7 months in this place. I've been to other locations. And by God's grace, I can stand to say that I have a lot. I learned a lot in this place through the command, and I experienced a lot. I could see that if you can see that the soldiers here have a high morale because of they have joy and they are ready to work and ready to fight to the end. Because all what we need, we have it. We have the best quality of food in the whole of this northeast, which you can confirm from any other locations. And I want to thank the Chief of Army Staff by digesting his philanthropic mind to the soldiers by welfare. Because in this place, we have the best, maybe, medical so far, in which nobody is referred out in case of any incapacity. And again, the whole of this northeast, sir, I can assure you that this very location, we have the best communication equipment provided by the commander standing here. He uses his time because he knows what it takes, and he wants all his men to be secured. We have the best network in this place by communication in time of command.
Really appreciate the front-based operation. A lot of things that our CEO have been doing a lot to us. People have said well because we have nothing to even regret with our CEO. He done a lot to us. In aspect of the operation, we are having good relationship with the communities. But in aspect of our Chief of Army Staff, we really appreciate him a lot because he has been doing a lot to us.
When we are going to operation, I see the best operation when this commander arrive here. But day and night, we are entering this bush, make sure that all the civilians that are passing here, they are safe. Both the escort and the farmers and the hunters, they are okay for this FOB Mole. The community, they are okay because the commander take them alone.
My experience so far in the other 2 places, I'm working under the best CEO I can see so far. because when you are talking of operation, the welfare of personnel is much important. Then secondly, we talk about the synergy. What is the synergy? Me coming from another sister agency. You know, the CEO have created a kind of a very good cooperation with the policemen here. And I can evidently say not only the policemen, it make the synergy generally make the operation very easy for us.
From Mulai, the team moved to 195 Battalion in Mona. Some soldiers and their commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Shuaibu Yusuf, spoke on the Chief of Army Staff gesture in making their work easier.
So I've been here in this theater over 3 years ago now. And ever since I've been here, I thank God for life and the commander of the unit. So in terms of our feeding, ever since he came to this unit, we have been well feeding. So, and the feed is increased. And we also thank Chief of Army Staff for improve of our allowance of soldiers.
From the theater commander down to the GOC, the garrison commander down to the commanding officers. Operationally, the commanding officer has never sent us to go for any operation without him going with us. He will be the one to lead and will follow.
Next point of call was Ijimtilo, where the commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Farouk Adelana, led our team to some of their critical locations, and we interacted with some soldiers and the commanding officer.
We are here to act as the blocking force in case of any pocket enemy crossing by to enter the village or the town. And we are also here sometimes to support the farmers. As you can see, this is the rainy season time. So without us being here, the farmers cannot be able to cultivate anything for the meantime. It's a great opportunity for me to thank the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Defense, and also my CEO here. He has been doing a wonderful job.
We thank the Chief of Army Staff for his support and for the welfare that is given to us. Sir. In fact, we also thank the commanding officer of 33, sir, the Lieutenant Colonel F.B. Adelana, for his support and his welfare upon the soldier of 33, sir.
With the effort we have put on in aspect of patrol, we normally do day patrol and night patrol. Likewise, we go on ambush. All those efforts we have put in place really help us on this ground. And the terrorists have not gained that strength to penetrate into the Maiduguri town.
Our primary role here is to provide fire support for maneuver and maneuver units and maneuver formation. In terms of the artillery, we have our artillery platform here. That is why we made it that this is the main point where the artillery assets are supposed to be, since it's an artillery regiment. Here we have the 105 millimeter Yugo. This is a field artillery gun, and it can engage indirect fire.
The visit continued to Chabol and Tungushe, where the soldiers were full of appreciation for the Chief of Army Staff, and the commanding officer spoke on the impact of the Chief of Army Staff intervention funds.
I want to use this medium to appreciate our cause, which Major Lieutenant General O.O. Oleide, and also to thank Mr. President, to thank Mr. CDS for the general support given to us here in the theater.
We're in positional defense. I think all the activities in defense here have been carrying out. We go for ambushes, we go for patrols, we keep our surrounding clean. Every other thing has been provided for us. We don't like anything in this FOB.
At each of the communities visited, the people and their leaders were so appreciative of the Nigerian army.
We are so happy, and always we are here. I know nobody say we are perfect, but Nigerian army, we don't know how to tell themselves. We are so happy to Nigerian army. They are doing many things for us here.
We are totally, we are not even seeing any suicide bomber here in Mona. More than some decades. Almost, I can say, more than 2 to 3 years now, because of the existence of 195. So we are just happy with what is going on now.
Lafiya mu kalau muna zuwa gona muna aikin mu, suna duba kanmu, ba masala yanzu ba komai. Sojoji suna taimaka mana, suna duba kanmu, muna zuwa gonan mu muna aikin mu, ba masala ba problem.
Saboda akwai kariya sosai, an ba mu kariya, alhamdulillah, da yanzu daban ne. Gashi na muna ta zuwa gona, muna zuwa mu je mu dawo, da inda ba a noma ma yanzu mun dan kara muna noma.
The General Officer Commanding 7th Division of the Nigerian Army and Commander Sector 1 of Operation Hadinkai, Brigadier General Ogochukwu Onachukwu, spoke on the security situation in his AOR and the impact of Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede's leadership.
7th Division area is relatively stable. It's not free of events, but we have more positives than negatives. And so the momentum that the enemies of the state gained has been broken. Yes, the division has been able to wrestle the initiative from the enemy. They said that they were coming to celebrate Big Salah inside Maiduguri. That didn't happen. Yes, and we were able to halt that momentum they were building then. What have changed? First, the ration cash allowance for the soldier for feeding of troops was improved from 1,500 per day to 3,000 per day, 100% increment. Then, to go further to ensure that that improvement is reflected on the ground, Army headquarters came up with basic feeding menu. That's the best minimum, which, even if it is stick to, it is very good way of taking care of the soldiers. But in 7th Division, we pushed ahead of the best feeding menu. We have added more to what is supposed to be the basic. So because we take that basic feeding menu as the foundation, we have built on it. Knowing how passionate our chief is about taking care of the troops, especially the soldiers, under this soldier first principle. So we have prioritized troops administration.
To find out the view of the Borno state government on the performance of the Nigerian army troops in the states and the relationship with the communities, our team visited the Commissioner of Information and Internal Security Borno State, Professor Usman Tar, and he spoke glaringly on the impact of the Nigerian army in providing security for the state and how the Borno people are so appreciative.
Security situation in Borno State has been improving progressively, even though from time to time the insurgents carry out daring attacks that tend to downplay the successes of the armed forces. But those of us on the ground, those of us working directly with the communities and with the armed forces, know that the security situation has improved. The Operation Hadinkai has done its level best in order to defeat the enemy. But like all insurgencies, they tend to look for loopholes and gaps where they attack. And that has been what is happening. But we deeply appreciate the armed forces for all that they are doing. And we put it on record without fear of equivocation that the security situation in the state is improving progressively over time. And let me particularly stress the tenure of the current Chief of Army Staff, General Oluyede. Since he came to power, he has visited the Northeast Theater of Operation several times. He has even held a Chief of Army Staff conference here. And he has made bold statements with regards to how the soldiers should go and the officers should go about dealing with our common enemies.
The man, who is directly in charge of security in the northeast of Nigeria as the theater commander, Joint Task Force Operation Hadinkai, Major Jan Abdusalam Abubakar, gave a detailed breakdown of security situation in the theater, the welfare of the troops, and the Chief of Army Staff Intervention Fund.
The security situation in the northeast has remained relatively calm, despite the occasional isolated incidents that we've had in recent times. So while we continue to have pockets of unrest and targeted attacks, they have always been contained by our gallant troops. Attacks recently recorded include mostly armed drone attacks by the terrorists, IED incidents, attacks on isolated communities and IDP camps, as well as kidnap incidents, amongst others. But troops, in conjunction with other security agencies across the theater, are actively addressing these challenges, maintaining a vigilant posture and responding swiftly to the threats as they emerge. For Operation Hadinkai, to enhance the performance of officers and soldiers in the Nigerian Army, the Chief of Army Staff initiated the Soldier First concept. Now, this philosophy is being implemented for us here through prioritizing sound administration, enhanced welfare, reward system, equipment support, in-theater training, as well as looking into the well-being of the troops. These are all part of the command philosophy of the Chief of Army Staff. For instance, our soldiers in the theater here are now better equipped to carry out their missions, and the Chief of Army Staff has also injected new platforms into the theater with several other novel ideas which were hitherto not here. For instance, the Nigerian Army remotely piloted aircraft system was just inducted into theater with quite some very good platforms to deliver heavy payload. So you also discover that our soldiers now undergo more realistic in-theater training in addition to the enhanced welfare support. Additionally, we now have the Chief of Army Staff Intervention Fund to commanders at all levels, which is given to them periodically. Now, more accommodation too is being built in the barracks by the theater through Army Headquarters intervention. Troops' ration cash allowance was recently enhanced by 100%, and the theater is impressing on all the sectors to ensure the judicious utilization of this fund. For the reward system, the Chief of Army Staff is now granting automatic promotion to soldiers who distinguish themselves in battle. We have done that for soldiers that distinguish themselves in Malam Fatori, in Kanama, Damasak, as well as the last incident in Kareto and also Dambua. Furthermore, the theater now conducts routine visits to all troops locations, directly engaging with the soldiers to identify their problems and resolve them quickly. So this hands-on approach ensures that the soldiers' needs are met, fostering a positive and productive environment.
Our team is at the popular and ever-busy GSM village in Maiduguri, where we sought to find out the views of the people on the street about the security situation in the state and the performance of the troops.
Before we cannot stay even at home, but now we are coming, we are doing our business. We go back to house. So we're happy and very thank you for that.
Nigerian Army, then they work well. And again, some people for Maiduguri that they give them maximum cooperation with the Nigerian Army. Nigerian Army then they try.
Dan saboda majority zaman lafiya da muka samu a Maiduguri da mu da sojoji ne muka samu wannan haɗin kai. Su suka ba mu wannan haɗin kai. Daga lokacin da muka dau gora suka ba mu haɗin kai in mun ga mutum mara gaskiya muna nuna musu. In sun kalli mutum mara gaskiya already ba sa iya gane amma suna tambayar mu. Wannan cewa iya da gaskiya ko baya da shi zamu duba mu kalla in yana da gaskiya zamu ga musu. In baya da gaskiya mu mun sani. Kuma sannan sojoji suna bakin kokarin su inda a Maiduguri ne.
Sai dai mu ce alhamdulillah tsakaninmu da muke da security sojoji ba mu da matsala da su. Wani lokaci ma su suke dan ba mu bako wani sabuwan da zamu yi wanda ba ke ba su suke cewa kalmi kaza mi haka za mu samu hanyar fita. Wanda ba cin kasuwa ma yau ana cin kasuwa. So ka sabu abu ne yake faruwa wani lokacin zai faru ba a sani ba.
Ga sojoji ma suna kokari sosai. Aikin su yana kyau muna musu fatan alkhairi. Ubangiji Allah ya tsare.
It is obvious that Lieutenant General Oluyede's initiative of Soldier First mantra is well received by the Nigerian Army troops in Operation Hardin Kai, as that has helped to motivate and improve the performance of the personnel. Elizabeth Thanko, reporting for Security Watch Africa.
Very rare to see a soldier dancing, but that is quite heartening, because for him to dance means that his soldiers quite appreciate him, and indeed, I can attest to that. Sorry, we don't have much time. We'll have asked our guests to talk on this special report, but let me remind you that we still have him here seated, retired Brigadier General Sani Kukashika Usman. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much.
He was the former Director, Army Public Relations. We'll have to just quickly, because of time. I know that from this September 15th to October 3rd, there is going to be very, very important exercise by the Armed Forces, organized by the Armed Forces and Command and Staff College in Jaji. Tell us what is happening.
Yeah, you are quite right. Basically, it is an annual exercise, part of the training package for, the student of senior staff course. This year, exercise, which is tagged exercise, has KB literally translated, double light, so to speak. Is unique in the sense that, first and foremost, the attendance has been expanded beyond and it is in line with the theme of the exercise, which is, family and national security. It was informed by the understanding that actually the security challenges we're having to a large extent revolves around the family, and the family being, all the non-state actors or those who are perpetuating insecurity, they come from one family or the other. And those that bear the brunt of it also is the family, particularly women and children. So this time around, the theme is the family and national security. And by extension, there will be an executive session. The executive session will will feature a keynote address by the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency Senator Oleremi Tinubu. She's going to give a keynote address. And even before she goes on to give the keynote address, typically there will be a formal welcome, ceremonies, inspection of the Kota Guard. And the whole essence of honoring her, we are looking at the issue of family and what is the symbolic representation of the family. We talk about the women, we talk about the mother. Of course, she is a mother. So symbolically, she represents all the women in Nigeria and represent all the family, represent all the mothers. Hence that. And beyond her keynote address, there are eminent personalities that will discuss, and there will be other activities like a day in the life of a soldier, and then there will be other presentations by seasoned intellectuals and journalists and so on. Like you mentioned, the event will take place at the Armed Forces Command and Staff College in Jaji, Kaduna State, and it will last for 3 weeks, commencing from Monday, 15th of September up to 3rd of October. And there's a series of activities. Unfortunately, just like you rightly said, there is no time. Otherwise, we will expatiate more on the sequence of activities that are lined up. But the most important thing is the issue of the uniqueness of this year's exercise, HASKBU, which is family-oriented. But it will feature the other things, the internal security, and other low-intensity conflict simulations in which the military, the armed forces, the police, and other security agencies will participate. And of course, other segment of Nigerian society, the stakeholders and decision-making process, and so on, and so many other things.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that, it's almost like a full training. When we talk about exercise on the armed forces, like a full training, because there won't be certification and all that. Who are those that are to participate? And this time, like you talk about expanding the scope, I'm sure that other services and even the paramilitary will also be attending.
You're quite right. Like I said, primarily, you know, the students of the senior course and other students that are in the college, as well as the police, you know, the other security agencies, Department of State Service, Immigration, Custom, Civil Defense, and so on, Correctional Service. Everybody, when you have either disaster issue or internal security issue, everybody will be brought on board to see what effort is he or she putting, you know, to mitigate the problem. So exactly those are the issues. But beyond that, even the media is fully represented because, you know, they are also going to participate in the 3 weeks program. And so many, including traditional and religious, they typically in a setting of an internal security challenge or low intensity conflicts. It's a training and of course a forum for cross-fertilization of ideas by the various components of the society so that we have a full nation approach to, you know, security challenges whenever they occur. And most importantly, there will be networking among them to the extent that, you know, as they grow. In fact, it may interest you to know there are also foreign students. And there is a particular chief of defense staff of a particular country. I think when some Nigerian military delegation visited him, he said his only regret in life is that he has not been trained in Jaji, because most of his generals, anytime they talk, they will say, well, no wonder you have not been to Jaji. So Jaji is the place to be because of what you stand to gain.
Okay. Yeah, really, it's something that every Nigerian should be part of because, like he said, every sector of the Nigerian society is involved in this, and family is very, very important. I know we're getting signal to leave, and I don't know if there's any other aspect of it that is being left out, but the particular thing you talked about is the essence of the First Lady, because I know that she was a senator also at a point. So really, I think she fits into the global view of a family.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Hence, her, and we must have to thank her most graciously for agreeing to give the keynote address, you know, to set the ball rolling. And of course, the conversation will continue.
Will continue. Yeah. Yes, I know, because there will be some sessions that will be discussing various areas.
Exactly, and presentations too.
Presentation too. Thank you so much for coming.
It's a pleasure.
In.
Thank you so much.
Really
I hope you will be there too.
Yes, I will be there.
Okay.
I will be there. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, Security Watch Africa will be there because it's something that encourages security, and we must, just like he said, when there are crises or families are affected, and these criminals that are creating problems, they are all coming from family. There was an example that happened in the United States just 2 days ago, and even particularly yesterday, a suspect was advertised, and a member of his family and his friends handed him over to the law enforcement agency. We hope that that can be replicated in Nigeria, where people will believe that, look, it's a whole of society affair. Until next week when we come your way again, I say thanks for staying tuned, and bye for now.